Okay, so let's get started. I will just, I'll just ask you, everybody, if you have your microphone, just put that in mute. Same for the webcam. I will reserve some time at the end of the presentation if you have some questions, if we want to just exchange a little bit. Okay, so I'll just start now the recording. Okay, dokie. Okay, here we go. So, welcome to that presentation. My name is Michel Aguilera. I'm a trainer and consultant. As you can probably heard, not English speaker by default. I'm living in Switzerland, operating in the whole world with the COVID now. So the good advantage is I can be able to do presentation with a lot of people around the world. I'm operating that in 5 different languages. My presentation of today will be in English. Here you have in case of the email you can see on the screen is also my team access. So if you want to just ping me after the presentation, I will be available for questions or any remarks. So in the next 45 minutes, well, minutes now, I will have the pleasure to introduce to you about Microsoft Teams. So this is a masterclass that will group all the current possibilities we have with Microsoft Teams. So first of all, what Microsoft Teams is. It's quite important just to have that big picture to try to understand what. So Microsoft Teams started with the idea to bring more value about what we could have inside Microsoft 365. The first concept was to use Skype for Business, and Skype for Business was really for communication. That was the main intention behind audio, video, and a connection with public phone systems. So that was the legacy we for business. A lot of users still having servers on premise with Skype for Business. But the idea was to bring that to another level and bring more possibilities across what we have as a foundation level inside Microsoft 365. So the idea is, okay, we got a lot of things inside Microsoft 365. We have Exchange, we have SharePoint, we have OneDrive, we have all these different elements inside. And the idea is bring that seamlessly inside a collaboration platform. So this is how we could resume Teams. It's a collaboration platform. And that brings to us a lot of different interactions we will have. First of all, we want to have access to that to any kind of devices, to any quite tough sometimes when we look at the past. So this is something quite promising. The other thing is, because we are collaborating, we want to take advantage to the fact we will be multiple people looking about the same documents, working on the same documents. That was the main advantage we got with Office 365. It's basically inside Microsoft Teams as well. So when you start using Teams, you start documents right from the same pane. That's quite cool. The other thing also is we had it with the time machine learning with the Power Platform inside Microsoft 365. So we can take advantage of what we could get from inside Teams, bringing that interconnection. One of the things also really important is the security concern. A lot of people could have security concern regarding, okay, how my things are shared, how the things are actually used, and I like just to maybe have that control about what's going on. We add the possibility to use the compliancy and security guidelines from Microsoft, and it's embedded inside Microsoft 365. Teams is just part of the ecosystem. So these different informations about how we can protect and be compliant in terms of security with our product. So we really can say today is
You are muted.
Oh, microphone was disabled. Sorry, on my case. Okay. So I was saying Teams is today a hub for teamwork. So that means is the central platform we will use to globally have access to all what we need inside Microsoft 365. So is really grouping all the things we need. So the file access with some topics. So we'll see that how it works. We host meetings. Yeah, different kind of meetings. Like today, we are more than 130 people together, and you can be able to listen to me. We can interact. This is really cool. Chat and call. What that means, like Skype for Business and the other products we got in the past, we can chat, we can have voice, we can have video, and we have that connection with public phones. The one interesting part is what we get on the left part of the screen is integrate with third-party apps. Means there is something behind that. In fact, the main reason why Teams exists because there was some competitors around. Probably some of you already heard about Slack, right? And Slack was on the default development open to be connected to multiple platforms, to multiple solutions, and bring everything in one single interface. This is exactly what Microsoft does with Teams. We bring that interaction and we bring that in a single pane. So if we look about how the things are actually working with that, is really having the possibility to have one single platform, like one single solution that can bring to you everything you need, no matter if you are on your desk or on the road. So that could be really useful. So we have these main functionalities, chat-based. This is one of the things we got. Probably most of the users who are using social medias are chatting and sending messages. We want to enrich, we want to. This is what we got with the Microsoft Team interface. As I said previously, we got to have interactions with all the other bricks we have inside Microsoft 365. So Exchange, so meaning we will have a string connection with Outlook as well. Skype for Business, this is the legacy we've got about the voice, video, quality about that transport of media as well. The co-creating and co-editing documents is also something really important inside that operations we could get with the Microsoft Teams. SharePoint connections. In fact, when you create something with Teams, get in mind every time behind that you have SharePoint. It's a very SharePointy tool, we could say. And because we are in Microsoft 365, we can get B2B connections. We can have multiple companies working on the same kind of interest and communicating each other. This is where Yammer comes in the game, and we can interconnect Teams with Yammer to feed what's going on, what's happening inside Yammer. So this is a lot of different things you can get. And as you can see, under that is the Office 365 groups, which defines the permissions and authorizations about access and usage about what we get inside Microsoft 365. So all these things, everything together, brings a seamless with a very good integration and a very secure and trusted platform we could get behind that. So the interface, well, I like that picture because it's quite easy, it's quite self-explanatory, but just having a big approach about that. So we have the left pane on the screen. This is the toolbar. When you can get all the buttons we need. So when you have to move around, you have your activities that shows to you the latest thing you've made inside Teams. We have the chat that brings to you all the conversations you get with all your different contacts, with all the different people around your different connections. You can also have the different team, the organization about the structure you have. And you have these three little dots down there where you can have apps. One of the first apps I highly recommend you to have an eye on that is the help. That sounds tricky. No, it's not. The help has been well prepared for anybody because if you go there, you will have an interactive help that helps you to know how you can take profit of Microsoft Teams. So it will shows you with small videos, will very well explain information how you can get the usage of Microsoft Teams at its best. So the other point is multi-language. It's covering languages we want inside the tool. So at least 6 languages are fully available. English is one of them, and the videos are really showing how you can play with it. I will bring some information, some links on the chat as well just after the presentation, so keep that posted because that could be really useful for you. On the, let's say, middle left side, we have in fact the interface where we got the teams and the channels. So when you get a team, you can create several channels. The team is grouping people. The channel is defining the topics, all the different things we need to structure about what we get with the people we've involved, okay? And on the right side, we have the workspace, the main pane, where you will have, for example, here, with all the conversations. Could be conversations on the general channel or on the channels you are creating, okay? And as you can see, there is some tabs there. And these tabs, we will see how they work, how you can organize the content, okay? So the good point is, as I said before, Teams is multi-platform. So yeah, I can even use that on a Mac. So if you have some Mac users here, you're welcome because in fact, the interface is exactly the same, no matter if you are using a Windows version or a Mac version. And even you can use a browser. You just can open that Microsoft.com. You log in using your Microsoft 365 account, and voila, you can have access to all the window, exactly like you get here, with all the functionalities. So the browser version is exactly the same thing as you can get if you install the client on your computer. One small trick that could maybe be useful is if you have to have access in several tenants with several identities, and you don't want to every time unconnect your current session on your team to move to another one, use your Microsoft Edge browser, and you can every time pin a connection from the web browser as a responsive app. You can pin the window where you get inside your computer. It's pretty cool because you can have several teams open with different identities behind that. So that is really a good way to be able to deal with these connections. What I said as well is it's multi-platform, so it's also multiple devices. And of course, today we are every time on the road, so we want to have mobile devices. So here we can see with iOS, Android, and oh, rest in peace, Windows platforms. Anyway, as you know, Microsoft stops to have here's a home platform for mobiles. Today they're also moving to Android, by the way. So as you can see here, we have iOS with the iPad, we have, by the way, and the phones. And the good point is, the interface, no matter if we're looking at both platforms, are exactly the same. Functionalities are exactly the same. Some little changes regarding the way you could interact when you are on mobile respecting on the desktop, but all the time we see there are improvements and they are adding a lot of things. What is specifically interesting with the mobile version is the fact we can extend that experience, and that extension of experience is bringing to us the possibility to have these third-party elements inside the interface of your mobile devices. So it's highly customizable when you bring these functionalities. Okay, again, fully trustable because of security. It's possible to have multiple factor authentication with the connection on your Microsoft Teams client. So it's pretty good. So let me show you here quickly how we can get the creation of a meeting, how it works. Okay, so I'm sorry, my computer is in French, but I guess you could probably recognize most of the buttons we could have here. So here I'm actually activating my webcam. Hello. So it's pre-recorded, as you can see, just to be sure everything works. So here I can define the different settings regarding input-output devices for the audio. I could use several also webcams if I have multiple angle. It's also being able to take that in charge. I can use also shared devices like on the meeting rooms. Then I could also do from a remote place. Or I could also use a phone system. So if I have a phone, I can also use my phone to put my voice. So for example, if my microphone on my smartphone is better, I can use it at that point, okay? So this is the way how I could just set up my devices during a meeting. Then we have several kinds of meetings we can create. There is two. The first thing, standard meeting, like we are today. Just for your information, a standard meeting, since some weeks ago, it was 300 users maximum inside, and now we can reach 1,000 users in a single meeting. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun, okay? So here you can see, I can have also a planner, a scheduler that is working exactly like the same we could get inside Outlook. So I can see, I bring here my wife as an example on the list of attendees. And I'm putting just a place where I could have my location regarding where my meeting will be hosted in the place, in a physical place if I want to. Using and changing as well the time frame and the time period where I could have the meeting, so that can help if someone is connecting to another time zone in the globe. Okay, so this is a meeting. The other kind of event is the live event, and this is it's very covering for a large audience. Let's say we are more than 10,000 people around the world, and I want to be sure everybody has the same kind of experience. Here, as you can see, the screen is slightly different as what we get when we create an invitation for a meeting. And at that point, we will be able to, we have a WYSIWYG here window where we can type the invitation, we can bring the content with the rich text, with the graphical and identity, visual identity, if you have some logos or things like that. So this is something actually you can bring inside the invitation. One main point is Microsoft has already announced big improvements in terms of live meeting with webinar experiences. And this is something that will come in a very near future inside the interface for live events, okay? So as you can see, when an invitation has been sent, you have that message that comes by email, so you receive that. That could be also completely customizable. And here you have the link that can help you to connect your team client to the session, or that will open simply your browser asking you, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to use your team client or do you want to connect with the browser? And if you have the audio conference option, you will see here the phone number and the PIN code that helps you to connect to a meeting by voice, okay? So this is all these options we have here. Another one was really interesting, and this is exactly what we got here, is how we can record a session. So for example, we do a presentation. I want to have a recording about what we've done. So I have this small button here with the 3 dots, and when you see the red dot on the left, it says, hey guys, we are recording. You see the disclaimer that shows to the attendees, hey, we are recording that, okay? So if you do that, okay, it be just starting to record everything you will do, and you will share voice, audio, screen sharing. And at the end, when I've finished, I just go in the same place and I say, stop recording, where it goes. And this is the funny part, we have a place for that. It's called Microsoft Stream. It's a YouTube-like page. It's a module of Microsoft 365 where we can store all the recordings we could get from Microsoft Teams, but also from any kind of other videos we want to share inside the company. So here you can see, we have a page with contents, channels, we can organize these things as we want, and we can then share inside the company. So here you can see, that will generate the first screen that gives to us the title of the meeting, the organizer, and when it has been done. The recording is made at 720p, so HD, not so bad. I can even edit my video, I can change it, I can allocate it to channel, and most important, like I do now, I can download the file, MP4 quality. Then I could be able to share that. So if, for example, I'm editing something I want to share with people outside my company, I need to take that out of Microsoft Stream. Microsoft Stream is for internal usage. If I want to bring that video and share with more people, I will use SharePoint or OneDrive, okay? So this is a little bit the usage we can get with Microsoft Stream when you are doing a recording. And when you finish to do your record, what's going on, you will receive an email, and it says the record is done, you can share it, you can access that from Microsoft Stream. Pretty useful. So, as I said just before, live events are slightly different. Not only in the way we are inviting people, but also in the terms of functionalities we can get inside. So in the functionalities, again, we will define a parameter. Is this something widely open? So as I said, for at least 10,000 attendees, pretty good. Or we can define that as an organization scale. Let's say you are a really large company, you want to launch an event to maybe announce something to all your employees. This is also a way to do it. The main difference you will have between a live event and a meeting is on the live event, you cannot directly interact with the presenters. Okay, here, for example, you can have your microphones open, we can chat, we can really have on the group, we can even open the webcams. On the live event, only the presenters can have the functionalities of voice and sharing and showing our faces. This is really slightly different, also because we're not addressing the same amount of people. The other thing is we have some other functionalities pretty good here, is the possibility to activate subtitles in 6 different languages simultaneously. To be honest, I've started testing that. When it's full in English, no problem, subtitles are working pretty great. When we do that in other languages, the translation, let's say we're still having room of improvement, to be honest, okay? But this is already there, so it's pretty cool because it's just a question to improve the machine learning we could have for languages. But this is something we get here. We also have a report that gives to you the attendee presence, how much time each attendee stays, when they are connected, if everybody has been there or not, if you define that with an invitation from an email, so you can see who's has been there or not. You can even create a poll, like a form, to give the possibility to attendees to send their opinions about the presentation, okay? So just maybe here showing to you, this is a screen you can get when you are doing live event. Like in a broadcast solution, you will see your home screen and you can be multiple people, multiple presenters, and you can give the hand to other presenters and you can see your own screen, the screen of the presenter, and here, as you can see on the right side, the live event screen. So what the people can get when they are connected, they can see what's going on here, okay? So just to compare, this is the live event and this is a standard meeting. You see, slightly different about how it is presented inside the screen, okay? So one other thing Microsoft introduced is the together mode. So let's say today we are, hey, we are 200 people, more than 200 people. That's cool. But if I want to bring here a together mode, that could be great because then I could define a room and hi, you can see me here. Hey, I'm pretty good with my screen, but I could define different shapes for that. I can change the scene because here I'm alone. Oh gosh, I want to have maybe a room where I could have more people. I can bring here, actually is maximum 50 persons inside a meeting. So you can have my seats here. You see, maybe you can see my screen on the 50 seats. And if I have 50 attendees, I will see all the 50 other people around here. And that grows dynamically about the screen. So it's one funny part. So you can have that access and you can define that scene, maximum 50 attendees. And Microsoft is preparing something for larger audience. Probably not 1,000. That could be a very big room, a stadium. Not sure it could be so easy then to interact with people the same way. Hey, I see someone is there actually playing with it. See, I feel like a manager here with a big table. Looks great. Okay, so this is the together mode. Today you cannot change or cannot upload your own screen. That will be also a future request that will come also in Microsoft Teams to define your home space for the together mode, okay? So the other thing I will chat about is the breakout rooms. Probably some of you seen that is, okay, it's looking like we're bringing some features and we are highly inspired by some of the competitors. And it's right. we are taking what is good from the others and we bring these functionalities inside Microsoft Teams. Breakout Room is one of them. I really appreciate it, especially if I have to bring a business case, is when I have to organize trainings and sometimes we have hands-ons and I want to organize that with some topics. So I bring groups, I create small groups and they work each other in these small groups. And the breakout rooms is creating a room inside a meeting for dedicated people. Okay, let me show you how it works. So here we have a meeting I've started. And here you can see up there the small icon. So I can automatically put the people inside the rooms, or I can choose to set up the people inside manually. So here I've created 3 rooms. And as you can see, they are created. Here we go. So in the right side, then I can rename these rooms to be facing the kind of situation or the kind of operation I'm doing with these folks there. All right. So I'm just renaming here. The first one, Suisse, Switzerland, and French. I guess we also have French people here. Okay, so France, cool. And maybe here the third one, Belgium, La Belgique. I don't know how we spell that in the Netherlands, but well, probably you got the idea. So I can put the people there, they work, and when I want to bring all the people back in the main meeting, I just have to close that. You have the button close just on the right side, and then boom, people are leaving the breakout rooms and coming back to the main meeting. So this is really cool. This is one of these coolest features we get. Collaborating inside Microsoft Teams, as I said, is bringing Microsoft Online on the same pane. So you can have all the different things you need to create documents, collaborate in these documents right inside Microsoft Teams window. Let me show you how it works. So if I just started here, so here is my teams. As you can see here on the left side, I have different channels, different team where I'm actually organizing my courses. And here we have the chat part and the files. As you can see here, I have some files. My contextual menu, I can be able to say open on SharePoint. Yeah, because when I create a team, that generates automatically a SharePoint site. And if I go there and open it, as you can see, it's opening the SharePoint. And I found, okay, authenticate myself. Here we go. So here you can see on the SharePoint, I have exactly the same presentation about my files with some functionalities additionally I could get. Okay, so here I can open my Word document, and here we go. I have a Word completely open where I can directly interact. I get all the different editing functionalities that are coming inside Word. Most of them are present inside the interface. So I have also to create a guide to create the different shapes and way to edit my document. I could have also the possibility to chat with attendees who are working in the same document. I will see on the list people who are actually working together with me in the same document. I can do changes or just revising the document, so bringing comments and saying, okay, these are the things we have to change inside. And if I tab, I could directly, of course, have edit help, so checking the words, looking at how I'm actually spelling the things, grammar, all the different things are available there. I can change it and I can bring the rules about how to edit my document if I want to do that in a specific way. So this is how we can bring all the addition we could get from Word on the Microsoft Teams interface. Okay, so it's pretty cool. So let's close that one. Here we go. So we're back here in the window. And we can have a lot of different things. These are these famous tabs I've mentioned before. And here, one of the things we got is the access to OneNote. We can create OneNote inside Teams. These files are also stored inside the SharePoint. So I can create here my own workbook and creating my sections and pages and writing exactly like I could do with my client, my OneNote client. It's exactly the same thing. So if you are a user of OneNote, you can get OneNote inside Teams. And by the way, if you are using OneNote connected to Microsoft 365, you can get your workbook also from OneNote directly there. So this is something where you can directly work inside. So here you can see I can edit easily something, put creating a checklist, for example, and put that here inside my OneNote. That's really cool. All the members who are inside the channel can have access to the workbook. So if you have to work together in a standard workbook and having all the information needs to be shared and classified in that way, is there. Just have to put it there. So every time you can see on the right side, there is a small icon spinning. It's also synchronizing the informations as a file inside SharePoint. So as I said, very SharePointy activities there. So here we can open that as I click here directly from the OneNote client. So I can open it and it will automatically present that inside my OneNote client. Sorry. So here you go, it's opening here. And as you can see, it's taking exactly what I got with my workbook and with the different sections I got here. So working completely seamlessly and real time. So this is also really good because all the things are synchronized in real time. Okay. And here we have another section that has been added, is called lists. It's like we can create it by ourselves inside OneNote, but there you have also a lot of different templates to create different kind of lists. Okay, so you have tons of different possibilities. All the templates are available when you create in that section. And for example, we can have here a checklist about, okay, maybe example, we have a new employee coming in the company. We have to go across several steps. We can list the steps here, or have a small inventory about some IT assets. I can create that as a model. Let's rename that managing my goods. Okay, giving a description if you want, putting a color of the tab, and an icon dedicated for that. Oh, the small rocket looks good. All right, create. So here we have the window opening, and now I can start fitting that. I could start also importing an Excel sheet with a CSV format. Boom, now bring that. Just one time, what I need is just to have these different fields fitted to have access. Here we go. So this is a good example about how we can use list inside Microsoft Teams. Okay, killing that because it creates every time a tab. A tab on my menu. The other thing I like to have is using Microsoft Forms. Those are part of what you get inside Microsoft 365. You can generate polls, different kind of formulas, whatever you want. Here I have the example for my own evaluation sheet. And this is part of what you can get inside Microsoft Teams, fully integrated inside the pane, okay? And if you click on the small plus, that becomes the magic, because here you can have access to a lot of different applications. Microsoft applications, but here you can see if I go downstairs, there is a lot of other applications available. Okay, there is a ton of applications. The quantity of integrations becomes really high here. So it's really cool because you can see you can interact really easily, and with the possibility to use single sign-on if you have Azure Active Directory linked to these applications. Okay, you can define default applications by channel. We can change the member authorization regarding the usage of these applications as well, and bringing some nice tools as well during the usage inside the team. So for example, with rich text, emojis during the chat, things like that, okay? We can manage also which are the members, current members, deleted members inside the team or inside the channel as well. Okay, so you can see that, it's pretty cool. So this is just an overview about what we got inside the thing, and we can manage also the channel. We can easily add a channel. When you add a channel, there is two options, public or private. Public means everybody who's are in the organization can see it. I can list that and comes by default as a list of channels. But I can also say it's private. So only the members I will choose will not only see, but access that channel as well. But it's really important just to define that in a proper way. If you have a topic that should be covered only by specific people inside the teams, then you will create a channel just for that, okay? And you see here up there, it's showing if it's org, world, global access or specific access. And here I can see every time the members. Even when we create a channel or automatically an email for that. And we have also notifications when you have some activities coming inside your team or your channel. Take care about that because that can become your best spammer inside the company if you have every kind of notifications in a very large team or channel, okay? So here, for example, when I connect to my Microsoft team, here we can see the SharePoint site dedicated. It's a real SharePoint. It's a complete SharePoint site where we can have all the different informations. For example, if I want to see what was the latest conversation I got from a channel or from a team, I just click on conversations and look at that is opening Outlook Web Access. Yes, the conversations are stored in the Exchange server, okay? So you see here, it's storing everything. Here we go. So you can see it's pretty cool. It's going pretty fast here, okay? So Just have to move around because I'm just seeing the clock. I'm taking too much time. Planner is one of the functionalities we get also. We can create task-oriented with plans, with the different actions. It's like a Kanban method to do project management. So this is something we can give here as a tasks. And I can create a plan. That could be also available if you are using Planner as an application for mobile or from the web browser. There is no client for desktops yet. You have to use the browser to do that. So just creating here for my demo. Here we go. And I just can start creating tasks and allocating them by myself. The good point is here, you will see it's automatically then listed. The difference we could get about the to-do list we could have inside of one Outlook is you can get a graph that shows to you the process about how this task has been performed, whose are actually due to the date regarding some tasks you can bring here. So there is some of these details there where they can be completely tracked inside Microsoft Teams. It's part of the modules we get on the, inside Microsoft 365 functionalities. To quickly finish, because I'm already 1 minute 30 over the time, I will try to go further. The phone solution. Yeah, Microsoft Teams is today also a phone solution, a complete phone solution, because we can get here what we call the virtual cloud PBX functionality inside Microsoft Teams. So today there is two ways how you bring your numbers from your provider. This is what we call direct routing, or you can get the numbers from Microsoft, having dial plan and a coverage about where you want to be able to call. Okay, so a little bit the thing. It's quite working well in most of the countries. And what we can also do is using different kind of devices with Microsoft Teams. We have what we call personal devices, where they are attached to one person, and we have the shared devices, which are much more in conference rooms. Be careful when you are using shared devices. That means you need to have a dedicated license for that. It's not integrated inside an E3 or E5 plan or a business standard plan. This is something you have to take separately. So just an example here, I have two phones, one with 3CX, another one on the left with Microsoft Teams. So I'm calling myself, as you can see here. So calling with my number, just putting the number. Here we go. It's reading here on my Teams phone. I'm saying, okay, I'm not available. Please leave me a message, blah, blah, blah. And here we can see at the moment, when I hang off, I will receive a notification immediately inside my Team client. So at that time when I do the recording, I was with a Mac. So just to show you, it works also in a Mac. And you can see here, I have my voicemail that record the message I left. But look at that. It gives to me a transcript about what I said during my message. So he's able to recognize the language and is able then to transcribe that. And then I could listen the message. But there is another thing which is really interesting here. I receive a mail notification attached with my voicemail recording. So I can have even the transcript on my mail and the voice message recorded. That's really cool, in fact. Teams is also able to manage the devices compatible for Microsoft Teams. And here there is another good example I can give to you. So I'm going here on the management console, and here I have my Yelling T58A, and I have an update for the firmware. So I can drive the firmware update of my devices. I can schedule that. I can be notified when these new firmwares are coming there, and I can push them the command to say, hey, you need to be updated. I could do that manually, or I can even schedule that. So here I can choose when I want to do that. I can postpone that as I want. I'm not forced to do any kind of changes directly. Okay. So here I'm choosing the firmware, and I'm saying update it, and it will send the order to my device. Hey, there is a new firmware. Download it. What brings the new firmware is most of the time usage additions. We can have new user interface, new functionalities. And it's most of the time documented by the vendors, the hardware vendors of your phones, okay? So just here putting the update, I'm activating. I could define the planning, as I said, and I will send that to my device. So maybe just accelerating that a little bit. Okay, as you can see here, okay, it's downloading the file on my phone, taking some time. So I'm just accelerating that a little bit, installing that, rebooting, showing it's rebooting. And boom, when it's done, when I come back to my console, it shows you, hey, it has been updated. Cool. So that was, sorry, I'm a little bit late, my presentation about Microsoft Teams global functionalities. If you are interested in more training, you can contact Readiness. Here you have the link below. My name is Michel Aguilera. I hope you will have pleasure to that presentation. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Thank you very much for your attention and have a nice day. Bye-bye. If there is any questions for the people who are staying here, you can chat directly. You can shoot your questions on the chat. I see still people here. Cool. Any questions?
Everybody's hanging out.
Seems to be. Seems to be. I've been a bit late as what I've provided initially. It was normally 45 minutes. I've been a bit more than 47, 48. I have to improve that. Okay, so.
Thanks for an amazing presentation.
Thank you.
Really something. It was a trip.
Well, it's hard to be resuming such product in so much short time. I have to admit.
You did it.
It said to me 45 minutes. I was wow.
As I said, you said you showed the future today. So it's
It's what we get since last year with the COVID situation. A lot of people has been, let's say, pushed to that, and we have to use it. And the integration was in some cases tricky for people and companies. And I've been involved in many of these integrations for customers. And well, they start jumping on the stuff. Wow, we can do a lot of things. It's amazing. Without governance, without guidance, sometimes floating around the tenant. there are the things who are responsible of what, you know. So the product is shiny when you look at in such presentation, but it's a tough work to implement that properly in a proper way, let's say like that. And but when it's done properly, it's amazing. You can do a lot of things, and in fact, that brings to you the next workspace experience. We could say really, really that it's very amazing. This
I
is
just
what I
wanna
enjoy about Teams.
I just want to throw my phone away, just have people calling me in Teams, like I don't change my phone. It's almost broken, but I think by the time I totally finish him, I will have just a phone number. Right now when people ask, could you give me a number? Yes, I say email, call me in the email.
Email.
I don't know how, how you cannot know how to call in the email.
That's the stuff. In fact, we also changing some of the mindsets with the people. The phone still being in a lot of times used, but I've been thrilled by the number of demands I received about phone integration with Teams. Sounds obvious for the people who was using Skype for business, but for the rest of the people, not so much. Here I have a question regarding the recording. Should be available here. I don't know who started, in fact, to do the recording. I hope it will stop because makes more than 56 minutes recording. I don't know. I guess it's someone from Halzo who started to do the recording for me. So I cannot have access to the recording directly, but I guess there is someone who's are taking care. And yeah, the answer is that will be present on that room. So in case of, you can come back and have access to it.
Oh, I will listen from the beginning. I missed the beginning, so I just started in the end, but I will rewatch it again.
Okay, cool. Well, I was really going across the main functionalities, the kind of integration we can have inside the interface. Was really about the phone system where people actually have a lot of demands, how it works, is it hard to integrate, and this kind of questions are, let's say, obvious because I guess telephony is really a different job. But now we are moving to be mixing the technologies and having one single application to do that. And for some people, it becomes obvious. Yeah, I can call with Teams. I can do my phone calls. And the good one is, if you are using that, you was mentioning the smartphone. Okay, I guess you don't want to give your private number to everybody, right? You will say,
Not at
okay,
all.
there is the number of the company. Please use the company number to access to me, and that's it. That will rings on your smartphone, and when you answer, they will not see your private number. They only see the number you got inside the Microsoft Teams allocation. That's also something cool. So I understand what you said to me. I don't want to be flooded by calls, and yeah, to be sure it's not happening. What I do, I just stop the application.
And I love the voicemail feature, and I know the limit. Once I let for a friend a voicemail with 5 minutes, like that's a limit of a voicemail. But it got all transcribed. It was an amazing thing. He got
That's practical. That's really useful. What I really appreciate it is sometimes I receive voicemails in different languages, and what amazes me is able to recognize the language. That's crazy. They are improving that, as I said. For example, when we are in live event, you have the 6 languages
Yes,
subtitles available,
at the
and yeah,
same time.
the transcript sometimes is, well, as I said, we have room of improvement there. But it's still working pretty good, and it's even working better and better with the time. In fact, to improve it, we need to have people who are using more the solution. More the
Uh,
people are using it, better the experience will be.
I
It's
suggest
like
it
the machine learning.
for everyone because I say like the transcription looks funny for for those who know the language, but transcription is for those who don't understand the language. And put yourself in the shoes where you don't understand the language, and then subtitles will be like, I understand another language. That's gonna be wow, how can it be possible? So
Well, I can maybe show you that. That's something funny I saw from Microsoft. They've started, they created, in fact, a new application called Group Transcript. I don't know if Group Transcribe. I don't know if you heard about it.
no, that's too
Let me show
fresh.
that. I should have here my cable somewhere. I can show you that. That's really funny. It's a funny one. Uh, where I have my USB cables here. I have every time cables, but I'm every time fighting to find the right ones. Gosh, where they are. Here we go. Here we go. So I will share my screen of my iPhone and show you how it looks like, okay?
Okay, great. Sorry for, bombing the session, but I thought it was appropriate, as everybody was hanging out.
Oh, we're still having 35 people who are listening, so that means I'm not telling things are boring. I hope so, by the way. So, where is my application reflector? Here we go. I'm every time fighting between my Windows machine and Mac machines to be able to do such thing.
It's pain, but usually cables find their way, It's a challenge for the presenter, to juggle in between the slides. But that's the way you showed updates. That was wow, inspirational, for me.
Trying to at least.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 8, 2. Okay. And now I should have my phone screen appearing in a moment. Here we go. And sharing my phone is, yeah. Can you see my iPhone?
Not yet. It's coming through. Yes, it's coming through, and it arrived. Nice. Reflector 4.
So there is that application called Group Transcribe. And in the same kind of translation you could have in different languages. So you can even invite people to have the translation and they could follow you in their own language. So if I start here to say something, bonjour, ceci est un exemple de traduction. J'espère que vous comprenez tout ce que je dis. So as you can see, he's really writing everything in the right language.
Yeah,
And
I don't understand it yet.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's translating.
Nice.
Okay, I want to leave. And there I could change the language. So my default language is French, but then here you can see, you can change all the different languages. And this is the list of languages Microsoft is supporting today inside the translations. So there is a lot of different languages that
Lithuanian.
are actually taking charge in the application. So it's just a small glimpse about what we could have in the future inside the translation operation in Microsoft 365, just with that application. Still being in public preview, it's not something yet available for everybody inside Microsoft 365. That on the phone, so it's a cool way to do the thing, I guess.
Yeah, to understand everyone everywhere. That's gonna be amazing.
In fact, I don't know if you've seen, they've just launched the small earbuds, the Microsoft Surface earbuds.
Yes.
You have the translation functionality on the earbuds as well.
It's like from the future. I think I saw some of the movies for those devices.
Yeah, they bring that with Microsoft Duo. Surface Duos are like a 2 screens phone operating with Android, and they put that functionality inside. So if you are using that in conjunction with the such device, that creates for you the translation automatically. So you will have that translation in your ear, and you can have every time when you are speaking in real time the translation on your head. So you can listen someone who's maybe talking in French, and you could hear that on your own language, real time. I have to precise, real time. Is the translation good? Well, the voice could be improved. It's a female or male voice, a little bit robotic voice, but it's doing the job.
And it's understandable. You can
Yeah.
do business. You can order something from somewhere where they don't know English.
That's it. That's it. You name it. This is really the point, is when you are in a place with people who are not with the same language, to be able to be understood by people. Absolutely. Well, I have to leave. Sorry, because
That's a cherry on
probably
the
you
top.
heard
Thank you for that.
I have some kids doing noises behind, and we have the lunch with family. So for all the others who are still being online, thank you very much. That's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
In case of, again, I put my email contact if you have some questions. Merci Stéphanie, c'est très gentil. Là. So do not hesitate to shoot me questions if you have. Have a nice day and a nice next meetings. Bye-bye.